All right, nicely backlit, in fact. What about that? Oh, that's a little better. It's not using this, so I can unwind that. All right, less backlit. Hi, sideways. Okay, we're almost there. Is anybody able to sign on and say, hey, we're almost there? No, okay. In that case, people just wait. Yep. So I had a gig in Williamsburg last night where I was playing for English country dancers in a big ball with lots of people in colonial costumes. And it was really fun, but it's a long way.
Yeah.
3-hour drive, huh?
More than 3. Yeah. I mean, and that's when traffic is nice. Anyway, traffic was pretty good this morning, so.
Played 3 up this morning.
Yes. Well, I was playing last night.
Yeah.
When else was I going to come up, right? Yeah. So, anyway, it was a pretty good one. Okay, let me put in the chat about to start.
Daylight saving time.
Yep.
That,
How many people?
gas prices.
My estimate was between 5 and 30.
Oh, 5 and 30.
Yeah,
I don't think
No,
it's
we've
been
got the 5.
decades since we had 30.
Yeah, we haven't had more than 20 in a long time.
Well, some people think of it virtual.
That is true. The fact that we have a virtual option is appealing to a bunch of people.
Yes.
And I think it's pretty cool that the people from Minnesota and Florida are tuning in regularly.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and they send me questions about downloading their music and stuff like that. So anyway, let's check out tuning. Actually, I'll go live stream. Okay. I guess it started. I didn't know that. Well, here we are. Okay, so I just need to tune. It's been a long travels to get here today. So that is a good A. Anybody need that A again? Okay. So the workshop this month is on polkas. We have featured so many different types of tunes, given their own monthly workshop in Fiddle Club. We've done Strathspeys, we've done Scots measures, jigs, marches, slip jigs, hornpipes, right, all kinds of things. But we have never stopped to look at the polka. So I thought, well, what could be better than polka
My wife
time?
grew up in a dairy farm in northern Wisconsin, and all the farmers would get together on weekends and dance polkas and work and
There are some places where polkas are the thing.
Yeah, her father played drums in
Yeah.
a polka band.
Yeah.
After he got through milking the cows.
So polkas have not always been a part of Scottish music. Having looked at the historical Scottish music for a long time, looking way back, there is nothing really resembling a polka before sometime in the 1800s. And there's reasons for this. Number one, the polka is supposed to have been invented in what's now Bohemia, Czechia, I guess is the official name of the country now, right? And in about the 1820s. So if you're looking for polkas in your 18th century music source, you're not going to find them. And then once it was sort of invented, the dance, and of course the music that goes with said dance, it started to spread and became popular throughout Europe, including Scotland. Places in Europe where it was popular. Originally the name was derived from a Czech word that is not exactly polka. It means something else, like wild fiery dance or something like that. I looked it up, but I've now forgotten exactly what. But the modern name polka refers to Poland. It didn't actually originate in Poland, right? It originated in Czechia, right? So, but it spread. The places where it spread to: Poland, Germany, all over Europe, north, west, south, and it got even more popular because polka's really caught on in Germany, and everybody has probably had the opportunity to either see, hear, or know about, in some degree of remoteness, of German polka bands, which are usually, a little more brass oriented.
My community was Slovak Croatian, and polkas were a
Right,
big deal.
right. Lots of polkas throughout Eastern Europe, in many, many countries. But I mentioned Germany particularly because what happened in Britain is that Queen Victoria married Prince Albert, who was German. And Albert was super popular. He was also a patron of music. You still have the Royal Albert Hall in London as a music venue. And so his popularity, his fondness for music, his fondness for German music led to a bit of a polka craze throughout the UK. So not just England, Scotland as well. So that's when we start to see polkas coming into Scottish repertoire. So I do in fact have some honest to goodness real old polkas to present to you. But I also have some more modern ones. And so I was thinking that I might start out just by giving you a real classic of Scottish dance polka repertoire. So this one is by Hamish Menzies, and it's known as Hamish's tune. I don't know if he wrote any other tunes, but one would presume he probably did write more than one tune, but that's how this one's known. And it is used for Scottish country dance. I've heard it played many, many, many times, dance to this tune. Here's how it goes.
Catchy.
I know, it's really, I mean, these polka tunes are infectious, right? Once you got them in your head, you can't get them out. They're just too much fun. So this one's in the key of A. Just a couple of things I'll tell you about this tune before we learn it. We've learned a lot of tunes in Fiddle Club, and this sort of fits broadly into the category of reels because it's in cut time and has basically 2 beats, and those beats are subdivided into 4 and 2, right? And so it's very much divisible by 2 is the word with polkas. But we've seen a huge variety of tunes that are technically in that big real umbrella. These are different, and one of the things that's different is to play this tune once through 32 bars, you need 32 unique bars of music. There's no internal repeat section. We've played a lot of reels where you have 4 bars repeated, 8 bars repeated, that kind of thing. And you don't have to learn 32 unique bars of music to get the tune. This is a 32 bar tune, just in and of itself. So the phrasing is longer. And that's one of the most characteristic things of polkas. It's important to know this, that the phrases are long. So just to give you a little illustration of that, excuse me. To give you a little illustration of that, let me play you 8 bars of this polka tune. It's not resolved, right? To get any kind of resolution, we have to keep playing. So even 8 bars of music, if we were playing an 18th century tune, 8 bars would certainly resolve it, or maybe even 4 bars would resolve it. So the fact that the polka isn't resolved after 8 bars is an important feature of this style. So we're in the key of A, and our pickup note is an E note. And, excuse me, I need to find my water bottle. Here we go. Okay. All right. So this E note, and then we're in the key of A, and we really need to know our A arpeggio notes for this tune. So let's just find them right now. That E is part of the arpeggio, but A, C sharp. And let's find the high A. And let's come back down with the E note, the C sharp. I think that's the lowest note in the tune, so we won't go lower today. But it starts out by going up that arpeggio. So with the pickup note, it goes like this. Listen. So it's repetition of E, E, A, C, C sharp, high E. And that's our opening phrase. Let's do it again. Tuning.
Just me, I might be a little flat.
Here's my A. Yeah, you're gonna want those notes in tune. Okay, so our opening is all arpeggio notes. Let's just play it again, and I'll take you all along. And here's the next bit. The next bit is scales. Okay, so far we have 4 bars of music. Let's do that. Once again. Okay, next. Next phrase, we're working with the E arpeggio notes. So let's go ahead and find those. Starting on E, the same E. Our E arpeggio notes are E, G sharp, B, and there's one more note that technically we go to E next for the next arpeggio note, but we need to know the D note. This is technically E7. It's like the barbershop chord. So our next phrase is to play this arpeggio. Like that. Let's play it again. Okay, how's that going? Good.
Maybe one more, couple more times. I'll try. Now, what's the second?
The next one with your third finger, G sharp. Reach for it. And then your first finger. And then a regular third finger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. You found it. All right, let's go ahead and do what we have so far. So our opening arpeggio is the A arpeggio. A, C sharp. Scale up and down. With G sharp and B. Okay, we need to follow on with this. It is up to a G sharp note. So find that high G sharp. And it's, again, scale work. So it's just switching between 2 notes. And right, we're not quite done with the phrase. So our end of phrase is yeah. Okay, let's try putting our phrase together. 8 bars of music. Okay, we'll have a few more tries at that, but is that sounding good? Okay. Nobody seems to be signed on, so I can't ask about can you see and hear.
Oh,
All right. So 8 bars. Let's run through that 8 bars, and then we'll take it from there. Luckily, we do get some internal repeat. Yeah? Okay, next bit is kind of doing the same thing as we started with, but you don't play 2 E's because the first one was a pickup note, and we just filled the bar with, it's full. So we start right at the top of the next bar with, okay, next phrase. The first time we had, we're doing a similar idea, but it's moved up. How it's parallel. Yeah, G sharp and F sharp, yes. So I want to do the first 4 bars of the second 8-bar phrase. That's sounding pretty good. Okay, last phrase. So the last phrase is all scale work again, and by that I simply mean you move up and down by 1 degree of the scale. It doesn't mean that you're playing a full scale up and, all the way up or all the way down. So the ending phrase is moving by 1 note of the scale each time. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So, I said nobody was on. Now there are 2 people on. All right. So I'll type can you see and hear. Of course, they might have started at the very beginning and maybe out of sync. So they might not encounter that till much later. Okay. Anyway, so let me now play you the full 16 bars. We'll try putting it together. They're not a lot of notes, so that's another characteristic of polkas, is that they tend to have more long notes. Now, we'll see that it's a little more nuanced than that when we get into some of the other polkas that I have today. But as opposed to the kind of tune that's like, it's full of 8th notes. This has, so far, quarter notes and half notes. A fair number of half notes that mark ends of phrases or ends of short phrases. So let's play the whole thing. Do you want to hear it first, the 16 bars of the A part? Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's try it, and we'll have a few practices through on that. Here we go. Pick up note of what? E. Yay! Let's do it again. Okay, so is anybody playing a fiddle and finding the bowing awkward or a little unexpected, or like you think you're going to be going down bow and you end up up bow?
Not at the point of noticing.
Nobody's having trouble with it. I'm glad that nobody's. Let me just say, I'm very pleased that nobody's having trouble with the bowing. However, this tune was not designed with bowing in mind. Just think of this German polka band that I painted for you, right? It has a tuba, it has a trumpet, it has an accordion, it has drums. How many of them have bows? None. Right. Do they care about the bowing? Nope.
Now, did they have accordions too?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Polka bands often have accordion. Yeah, in fact, when I was in elementary school, we had a German teacher. Actually, she was from Germany, and she taught songs in German, and she wanted to have them played. And she found out that I played baritone horn and that this other kid played accordion, and we were drafted to be the music, instrumental accompaniment to the German songs. So that's one bit of evidence that I have about the standard German polka band. But basically, this is music that's written for instruments, not necessarily the violin, right? And so if the bowing is awkward, it's because the composer really wasn't thinking about, boy, that's an inconvenient bowing. I think I'll switch my composition around a little. They're not thinking that. Because it doesn't matter for the ensemble that they had in mind. So it just means that if you find the bowing is awkward, insert a slur or link two notes together, or something that you would ordinarily slur, don't slur it. And you should get back on track if you take those techniques. So let's play the tune through. So far, we're halfway through the tune. Long phrases, Hamish's tune. Here we go. Let's do it again. let's move on to the B part. So the B part, again, those same arpeggios are useful to us. Pickup notes this time are 2 E notes. Okay, let's find them. Okay, and then we're going to do A arpeggio notes. It's two repeats of that. So far, so good, right? Next phrase, scale again. So let's do the 4-bar phrase with A arpeggio and then the scale bit. Again. So far, so good? Okay. Next, we need that E arpeggio again. And then we're going to borrow a reply phrase from the first part. Sounds familiar, right? Okay, let's do these 8 bars so far. So it's 2 pickup notes, arpeggio on A, reply phrase, E arpeggio, yeah. Okay, let's do the same thing again. Ready, and again. Yeah, okay. Next phrase starts the same way with the A arpeggio. This time we're adding. Sounds familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that. Again with that. Yeah, okay, good. Our ending phrase, same as the ending phrase of the first half. All scale. So I think we're ready to put the B part together. Let me map it out for you as we go. Double pickup note. A arpeggio that repeats. This answer. Then the E arpeggio that repeats. my answer on the scale ending. Let's try it. Yay. All right. So now I think we should return to the beginning of the tune and put the whole thing together. So, how did it start?
E.
E. And then what happened?
Arpeggios.
Yes, repeating the notes of the arpeggio. Does that sound familiar? Let's all start together this time. Okay. Ready, go. much just about up to tempo. And so isn't that kind of nice? Right? This type of tune, it just doesn't have as many busy notes in it.
Right.
There's more space. So even when you're at full speed dance tempo, it doesn't feel like you have to move frantically from note to note. There's room. And just as, I don't know how many of you remember Scott's measures. We have talked about them before. We've had whole workshops on them before. But those are also reels, or as in cut time tunes, that have more quarter notes in them. Just because you can make a tune that's all quarter notes, they don't always stay that way. They start to fill them in with eighth notes, and they just retain enough characteristics to say, oh yeah, that's still Scott's measure. Same with polkas, because there are polkas that fill in the notes. So that instead of having mostly quarter notes, you have mostly eighth notes. But they still have these long notes, and they still have the long phrases. So that was Hamish's tune.
Mhm.
And we should probably learn another one.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So I'm trying to decide between the many choices. We have old tunes, new tunes. Every one of them is part of the story. So I could teach you one that begins to fill in. Would you like that? It's also kind of a classic of the Scottish accordion repertoire. We've talked before about Adam Rennie. And does that name sound familiar to anyone?
Somewhat.
Sounds familiar, but I can't really remember much about it.
So we had a tune that was by Adam Rennie and John Cameron, where it was the subject of a lawsuit where they both claimed to have written it. And it was settled by the court saying, you're co-authors. So Adam Rennie was a band leader. He was kind of famous. There are good stories about him. Right? He was a fiddler, actually, but he lived in the early part of the 20th century, and this was a period where accordion bands were becoming popular because sound systems were not common, but people loved to go to dance halls and dance, and the accordion bands were loud and could fill the hall with fewer musicians. You didn't need a whole orchestra to fill a big hall. You could have a small band. So, but nonetheless, some of these accordion bands were led by fiddlers, and Adam Rennie was a fiddler with accordions in his band. He was a World War I veteran who had lost a leg, so he had a wooden leg, and there are stories about him stamping his wooden leg, which was very effective at keeping tempo. So, anyway, Adam Rennie wrote this one. It's called Miss Campbell. It is sometimes played in the key of G and sometimes played in the key of A. I've put it in here in the key of G. Here's how it goes.
The turnaround or the
Right, it has that little,
yeah.
right.
Filling in notes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, fill in the notes. That's right. So, right, and right at the beginning, the melody relies on filling in. So instead of all quarter notes, it's, so let's learn Miss Campbell. And again, this is a very popular dance tune, 20th century dance tune from Scotland.
What key is this in?
G.
G.
And the pickup note is a D. Let's find our D. And then the first note of the first full bar is a G. So we're going to do a little more scale work in this tune, but it does, like Hamish's tune and probably quite a few polkas, arpeggios and scales are well used in the composition. So at first we're doing mostly scale work. So, and that's up and down the scale. That measure pretty good for people? Okay, yay. Next measure, same idea. We've notched it up the scale a couple of degrees. So it's our starting note is D. And then we do. Yeah, okay. Let me give you more for the phrase. The end of phrase. Right, you come to that D and you jump to the high G. And right down the scale. And then here's your long note. Okay, so from the start of phrase. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm thinking it's possible I've got one note wrong
Yeah,
there.
it seems like
I am going to check that
Okay.
and see if my printout differs from the source. But for now, let's just do what I'm teaching.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play that phrase again. Again. That's sounding pretty good. Let's move it along. Next phrase, same rhythmic ideas are happening. Let's find that. Yeah. Next phrase, next bar. Okay, good. And end of phrase. That's a C natural there. We're in the key of G. So I'm pretty sure about the change being needed in the first phrase. So I'm gonna go back and point it out. So our second phrase, 4 bars. Again. twice has a similar finger pattern. I'm pretty sure that should be a B note, even though I initially taught it as an A. So I think my transcription has an error, which I'll fix, and then we'll post the fixed version. So let's go back to the first 4-bar phrase. Go to a B note. Second phrase. And repeat. Let's repeat it a few times. So far, how's it? Any questions? More or less. Close enough. All right. The next section, the next 8 bars of the tune is in fact an exact repeat. So this one breaks the rule of 16-bar extended phrase. Even though many polkas do follow that rule, it's not universal. I did have to issue an extra page this month to fit the tunes on because so many of them were extended phrase. But this time, this particular tune does repeat. But we need a special ending because it doesn't just end with the second time. It has this lead into the next part, right? It's not optional. You have to play the little flourish. So, scale. So let's all find let's do. So we'll play the A part twice, but the second time we do that lead into the next part. fancy lead in. So, and now it's, let's play that. It's G arpeggio notes, by the way. Next measure, one note lower on the scale. Third measure, same as the first. Fourth measure. Yay, you did it. All right.
I was like, really?
Yeah, so now let's play this 4-bar phrase of the B part.
Yeah, it makes more sense somehow when it's put together.
Yeah, yeah. I know these long note bars always make no sense all by themselves because it's just a long note, right? But you put it together and you're like, oh yeah, that fits the polka phrase. So again, the 4 bars of the B. Okay, good? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
That would be the end.
Okay, next phrase starts the same. But then it does. Sound good? Okay, let's put it on the end of the phrase. So again, now the second 4-bar phrase of the B part. Yeah, that sounded good. So now we have an 8-bar phrase, the B part. 8-bar phrase is. Long notes. Did you notice how I linked them together? I put in a D pickup note. We didn't need it the first time because we had that snazzy little turnaround, right? So we need it on the start of the second phrase. We need that. Yeah? Okay, now if I tell you that the last 8-bar phrase of the tune is the same, I want you to guess what happens to connect the two phrases.
Long
Da, 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 da.
Scale? Why, you would be right, and it's even fancier. It's even fancier. So the last 8-bar phrase is in fact the same. Only, the last note is fully long because you're not going anywhere else next other than play the tune again. But the first time when you come to the end of the phrase, lots of connecting notes. Wow, it's full of 8th notes, but it's really just a scale, right? You still end at You end the phrase on the G, but you don't stay there. You drop down to the D and play a scale all the way up. So let's practice playing that connection. Okay, we have the whole tune. Ooh. All right, but it is a matter of putting all the pieces together and make sure they flow from one to another. But remember that we have these fancy flourishes. The second time through the A part, connecting to the B part. The first time of the B part, connecting to the second time of the B part. Those are where the fancy bits are.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the fancy bits? They are scales.
Mm-hmm.
They're nothing more than scales. But, I mean, this is like getting power out of a simple move,
Mm-hmm.
right? It sounds super fancy. What is it, in fact? A scale.
Scale.
Can we play scales? Yes, we can play scales. So we're getting a lot of bang for our buck, so to speak, because you don't have to do something incredibly complicated and difficult, and yet it sounds really cool. Yeah. I know. Well, this is part of the magic of polkas. These are not necessary. I mean, some polkas are more complicated than others, but you can take a relatively simple tune, and it sounds super lively because you can play it up to tempo without as much fuss because there are fewer notes, and then it has these fancy flourishes that turn out to be just a scale. And you can deal with that. So you sound like $1,000,000. You sound like, wow, playing fast, doing fancy flourishes, and it's not that hard. So I say there's a lot to be said for this kind of tune. So let's go ahead and play the whole Miss Campbell. What was our beginning pickup note?
D.
D, yeah. Yes. D is our go-to pickup note. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Repeat. a dance tempo. How about that? Did it feel terribly, terribly fast? No. I mean, definitely a little brisker than we started, but that's the magic of polkas. So that was Miss Campbell by Adam Rennie. Do you have room in your head to learn another polka by ear? Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
That's your
I think
choice.
so.
Yeah, okay. We could do that. Okay, do you want me to teach you one of those ones that's a full page long? No.
Are they not all full?
No, they're not all full page. Okay, so the short ones that I could teach would include, okay. I have 3 different short ones you can pick from. Just pick one. Me pick one.
Basil's just like, just pick one.
Is it okay?
Which
You
one
want
sounds
me?
the best?
You want me to choose it?
Sure. I want to know what keys are they in.
Okay, one's in D, one's in A, and another one's in D.
Okay. Okay. Then you can just choose.
Okay, you want D.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have a choice of an old one or a modern one.
Is the
Modern.
one more like snazzy? I don't know.
They're actually really similar because the modern one was definitely written with a sort of classic style in mind.
Okay.
Okay. The modern one is by Liz Donaldson.
Oh.
And it's called Polka Somebody, but not too hard. Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of a sense of humor. Okay, here's how it sounds. Sound fun? I actually just realized the way it's written is not how I usually play it. So now I'm going to have to go back and check my source there and make sure that this isn't some weird Elke version of the tune, or or that the way I play it isn't, altered from the composer's intent. I'll teach you what's on the page, which is a little different from what I just played, but not a lot different. Okay, so the first part, A is the pickup note. We're in the key of D. So far we learned Hamish's tune in A, we learned Miss Campbell in G, now we've got Polka Somebody in D. Okay. Again, we're making use of arpeggio notes. In the key of D, our arpeggio notes are D, F sharp, and A. Just find them, okay? Right, these are useful notes when playing this tune. Okay, pick a note of A, and then we go. Here's the next phrase. Okay. Yeah? Yeah. All right. So from the beginning, with a pickup note. Next phrase starts the same way and continues the same way till here. So that ending phrase, let's play that. Adding the 2 bars before. Okay, so let's put the 8-bar phrase together. And if you're thinking, wow, she's moving faster on this one. Yes, it's the 3rd by ear tune. I never teach those in quite as much detail. But I think it's still quite accessible, this tune, because it only has a few 8th notes in it. It's mostly quarter notes, and there are plenty of half notes. Polkas are just magnificent that way. So the 8-bar phrase with the A pickup note. That sounded pretty good. Let's move on to the B part. Pickup note for the B part is an E. Can you guess what we're going to do next? Go up higher. Yeah. I'm going to add something to this. So far, so good. Next bar, a scale. Yeah. Okay, 2 bars together with the pickup note. Okay. Next bar, 3rd bar of the B part. It's actually 3rd and 4th bar. C sharp to E to F sharp to G right. So 4 bars of the B part. Scale. Go up the scale. Yeah. Last 4 bars starts the same. The ending. Yeah, I think you've got that. I want to put the B part together now. Okay, what was the pickup note for the B part? E.
E.
Yeah. Scale down. Rising each time. Repeat. And this relatively straightforward ending. All right, that's the tune. How did it start? The very beginning.
D. Wait a minute.
D arpeggio. You're correct about that. An A pickup note. Yeah. That sounding familiar?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we could go faster with that, but I think you got that. That's so, Polka Somebody, but Not Too Hard
Nice.
by Liz Donaldson.
Yeah, not too hard.
Not too hard.
Just kidding.
Right. I mean, there are so many meanings to that. I think it's very playful. Okay, so I think that's enough by ear, unless you want one of those others.
No, no.
No. Okay,
Good.
people are very quick to say no to that. All right then. Moving on, Elke. let's go ahead and hand around some sheet music. And there are 5 pages this time because polkas just take more room to print. I taught you some of the short ones. Okay, so these are groups of little packets of 5. There should be enough for everybody who's here today. We ended up being late getting the music online today, so I wouldn't be surprised if people don't have it printed out. Because I very diligently made this ready on Wednesday and said, I shall send it to Pete after I look it over tomorrow morning. Then I went out of town without looking it over and without sending it to Pete. And then Pete texted me today, is there any sheet music? I was like, oh no, I did not in fact send it before I went out of town.
I have,
Okay.
So I did get it to Pete at that point from Interstate 95.
oh,
Pulled over, stopped at a coffee shop,
That's good.
and I sent him the stuff. I mean, I had it since Wednesday. So apologies from me for not realizing that I hadn't followed through with my own resolve to send the music to Pete so that he could post it for you. But it's there. It should be there now, and we can have some fun with it. Now I did bring along some visual aids. So we learned all the tunes on the first page, page 21. Does everybody have the music now? Are there extra copies that are on their way back, perhaps?
Did I
oh,
give
I need a copy.
I thought I gave it back. Who did I give them back to?
I don't know. Where'd they go?
I thought I gave it back to you. I came and asked you if you wanted it.
Yeah, but
Don't you have more?
Do you have more copies, Elke, or no?
Are you missing?
I didn't get one, because I
What?
went to get my stand.
Okay,
so-
people got to go check because I printed 9 packets.
Oh, okay.
So check that you do not have 2. There should only be 5 pages.
4. I just passed out 4.
I have 5.
Okay,
Where'd they go?
there are some more here. Okay.
you didn't just put it on your stand.
No, that's something else. Okay, who needs one?
I do, just me.
Just
Just
you?
me, I got it.
Everybody else has one?
I don't know, just
Do you
me.
need one? Okay,
Oh, shoot.
all right. Well, okay, that's a mystery.
Thank you.
Right?
All right,
Good.
so, let me just get my visual aid popped up. I believe that I photographed this so that I don't have to look further. Yes, here we go. So we learned the tunes on page 21. So on page 22 we have Jenny Lind. This is an extremely famous polka. And here's an old sheet music, and that is Jenny, right there.
Nice.
Show it to the camera here. That's Jenny Lind. So Jenny Lind is a real person.
Yes.
She was an opera singer. She was one of the megastar opera singers of the 19th century. She was Swedish, and she was known as the Swedish Nightingale. And so she toured all over Europe. She did a tour of the United States in 1850. tours in those days lasted a long time because if you took the trouble to cross an ocean, you stayed for a while. So her tour lasted about two to 3 years. And she actually used a lot of the proceeds from her tours to fund her favorite project, which was education, particularly education for girls. So she started schools and funded them, and she ended up back in England, where she was a professor of singing at the Royal Conservatory. So she was famous for being able to hit high notes. The piece of music is by Anton Wallerstein. That's not a very Scottish sounding name. The reason why this piece is in here is because it is one of the most famous polkas and one of the earliest. It was written in 1847. So one of the earliest popular polkas, and here it is. Its first, gosh, now I can't find it. Here we go. In its first Scottish printing as a popular tune, just a fiddle tune, is in Kerr's third collection from the 1870s. And by that time, this thing was just like in circulation. And it's the Jenny Lind polka right there. Kerr's collection has always been this somewhat odd setup, but it was standard for them. Late 1800s, right, 1870s. Strathspeys and reels, big section. Jigs, lots of jigs. Waltzes, okay, waltzes are popular. Hornpipes, more hornpipes than in any of the earlier collections. And then tunes for country dances, etc. Highland airs and marches. And then the last section, waltzes, polkas, etc. These were mostly the pop tunes of the day, which was opera or operetta. So there are little Gilbert and Sullivan excerpts and little, like 16 bar, 32 bar versions of arias from, Rossini and other opera composers. And some of them are not opera related. So this Jenny Lind polka is next to some that are opera related. Annan polka, which is Strauss. Opera polka, I don't know what opera it's from. The Belfast polka, obviously not from an opera. And the Star polka, also not from an opera. And Jenny Lind. So just to give you an idea of what's in there, this obviously the polka craze was, alive and well in the 1870s in this Scottish collection, published in Glasgow. So it follows a classical model of polka. This tune is still, by the way, in circulation as a popular fiddle tune. If you go to a contradance, the chance of somebody knowing this is actually rather high. We need a polka, Jenny Lind. Super famous, superstars. And they will just play the first two segments. And then section 3 and 4 are kind of like the extended version that will be played if you're into the vintage forms, or if you want to have a slightly more classical approach to the tune. So I've given every section, and I've taken it from the original source, published in 1847, Jenny Lind's favorite polka. It goes on in a piano score here.
Oh.
So this is how music got around. There was no top 40 radio station. So if you wanted to know what the popular tunes were, you'd have to go to your music shop and get your little piano leaflet. This one is in the key of E flat.
Ooh. Wow.
We're not going to play an E flat.
Thank you.
So it's in D, which is the key that it gets played in fiddle circles now. So let me play it for you.
So that's the Jenny Lynn note up there. The
Yes, the
high
Jenny
F.
Lynn, no, the high F, yeah. Yeah, those are Jenny Lynn. She could sing that high.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I did not. I put in alternatives. Right? I preferred like oh gosh, I don't play that high. I mean, if you paid me, I would, but I don't regularly play that high as a fiddler. So I figured you'd like to have an alternative where you don't have to go up. But she was a coloratura soprano. She could sing all these fancy things in a high range, and that was part of why she was so famous. Like every generation, there's always only a few people who can actually sing that high with any strength, and she was really good at it. So let's go ahead and play our way through Jenny Lynn, knowing that it's really the first two sections are the ones that are the sort of the popular version of this polka, and then the others are like the composed operatic version. popularity, the enduring popularity of this tune is that it's frequently used for a dance called the heel and toe polka, which is a really popular party dance. It's easy to do. I still see it taught at like community dances, family dances, weddings, things like that, because it's not hard. And so there is an official form for this. It's not quite as straightforward as it looks on the page, because these vintage polkas always had multiple sections and a particular way of doing it. I'm going to mention one other famous musician of that era. Let me see if I've got a picture of him. He was a band leader. And so he would lead an orchestra that would play this type of tune for popular audience. Let me find. And let me pull it up. Sorry, I didn't have it quite on deck. I think I had it and then I shut the window. Here we go. Okay, so this is a musician who was so famous that he was only known by one name. Can you think of any musicians who are so famous?
A lot of them. Madonna.
Madonna, Elvis. Right. So he's like the Elvis of the 19th century. This is him. His name is Julien. Julien. And so he was a composer and orchestra leader. And he basically would hold these popular concerts that were like super duper popular, to the extent that he would tour around Europe, he toured around America. He landed up in England, where he started a series called The Proms. Have you ever heard that they still have the Proms concerts in the summer in London? And so these are just pops concerts. And he's like the one who promoted and made that happen way back in the 1830s or 40s. So he's the kind of band leader who would have been playing this Jenny Lind. Anyway, the way it would have been arranged back in that day would be A, A, B, B, A, on to the C section. C, C, D, D, C, back to the A section. A, B, B. And then you're done.
And then you're done. Okay.
Right, so it's kind of like there's a main theme, there's an alternate theme,
Okay. And then you go back.
and then you go back. Oh, and then it would end with the A. Sorry. It would end with the A.
it'd be A, B, B,
Yeah,
A.
yeah, the format would be, polka DC until you get to, the A part again. So let me actually clarify. I didn't say it quite right. It would be A, B, B, A. C, C, D, D, C. A, B, A. Done.
Oh, okay.
So shall we try the whole thing for the whole effect? You want to do it?
Okay.
Just like Julienne?
Just like Julia.
Yeah.
Would follow your lead.
Okay.
Elke, Julian, Baker.
No, that's too many names.
Oh, you're right.
Could you go through the sequence again?
A, B, B, A. C, C, D, D, C. A, B, A. Done.
It's not too bad, it's just I haven't written it.
Right, we're not used to that, right? But it's not that bad of a format. Let's give it a go so that we can get the full effect of Jenny Lind. Ready, go. And so that's the whole thing. That's how it would have been done as a proms performance with Julianne conducting and maybe Jenny Lynn singing. Yeah. All right. So
Is there words for it?
I don't know any words because the only words I've ever sung, ever heard to this are the words that actually describe how to do the dance heel and toe polka.
Okay.
Heel and toe and heel and toes. Right. That's it. So are there real words? Well, I don't know. There aren't any words in this sheet music, which is from the,
Official,
yeah, it's the composer's leaflet that was probably made in some money. Anyway, moving on. The Rose Tree. This is actually an old tune. It's an 18th century tune. What? I said there were no polkas in the 18th century. How is this possible? In the 18th century, this was a slow air. In fact, we've had it in Fiddle Club as a slow air from the Gal collection. Yeah. So, and it was in the key of C, and it was something like. So. So it says real, but that's just because my template said real and I forgot to change it to polka. So there's one of our small errors caught. And what happens when you change a slow air to a fast time tune is this. The slow airs tend to have some long notes in them. So we get to see a few long notes. Because this is an adapted slow air, it's not quite the same format as following all the rules of polka making, polka composition. However, it's played as a polka so often. It's one of the most popular session polkas. So, do people know the rest? Basically, everybody knows the Rose Tree. All right, let's give it a try playing. basically dance tempo. Yeah. All right, let's move on to page 23, where we have two much more modern pieces. Bessie Bell's reel. Just because you call it a reel doesn't change it from being a polka. It's by Jim Johnston, and we've had his compositions before. This is Jim Johnston, accordion player. Great composer. I love this man's tunes. So he has unfortunately passed away, but not that long ago, like within the last 10 years or something. So many good tunes. And this Bessie Bell's again, a lot of the polkas that have been composed for Scottish music are very accordion friendly, so I wanted to at least give you a couple that were by accordion players. So let me play it for you. So much fun. It doesn't sit easy on the fiddle. But let's give it a try. It's very accordion friendly. Any of you out there playing accordions, you're going to have fun with this one. All right. We'll play it again, but I wanted to talk about the chords for a little bit. So
Thank you.
you may have noticed that the chords are a little busier than some of those old-fashioned polkas. And so this is an accordion player's version of a polka where the bass line and the chords are actually a big part of the fun. So we don't have anybody playing that part right here today at this workshop. But if we did, I've actually left out some of the details.
Even busier
Because
than that.
it's typical in an accordion book to have a chord for every beat. Because even if you're playing F, F, It's going to be F in the root position. Then it's going to be F inversion with an A bass note, or F with a C bass note, and they will specify, because on the piano accordion, you've got a keyboard on this side, and on the left hand you have buttons, rows of buttons, and the buttons include standard F chord, an F7 with a seventh note, F diminished, F augmented, and various, depending on how many rows of buttons you have more versions of the chord. Every version of the chord adds more weight to the accordion because you have to add more reeds.
Right.
Oh, physical weight.
Right. So,
Physical weight.
right. I played with John Williams, who plays button accordion. We had a button accordion that had extra things added to it so that it was fully chromatic in every key. And so it's this small, relatively compact accordion. You pick the thing up and you're like, it's very hefty because it was full of extra reeds so that you could have the full range and play in any key.
But the buttons weren't labeled, right? You had to know.
That's
where they
right.
were.
No,
There-
you have to know where they are.
You
Yeah.
have to know where they are. There are some cues because certain ones have like a little rough patch on the
Right.
button, and that gives you the orientation. You say, oh, okay, if that's C, then this one's G, and that one's F. And it works as in related keys are next to each other, so it doesn't go up the scale on the button side. It's not like C, D, E, F. It
But
would be
it
like
goes up sharp.
C,
and then-
G, D,
yeah,
A.
Circle is this.
C, F, B flat, E
Right.
flat, right. And depending, again, how many rows of buttons you have, or how many, I don't know what the correct term is. The rows are the different versions of the chords.
Right.
Did I say minor chords are also in there? There are minor
Right.
chords.
Yeah.
But, so depending, you can have more, cover every key, not cover every key, less weight. But the typical piano accordion does cover every key. And sometimes they're, playing in very bizarre keys.
So when you say there's more detail, it's still written like chord name and maybe.
Yeah, chord name, bass note. So Jim Johnston, for example, in this tune, in his own book, let's see if I can find it. In the second line, where there's an F, and then on my version, a blank space, he has an F with an A bass, or F7 with a bass note, and then B flat. So he's like, climb up there, F, A, B flat, G. He's telling you how to walk the bass around. And so that movement of the bass line is a very important part of accordion playing. That's why it makes this difference when we have the G minor versus the G7. It's a difference between it. There's a B flat in the G minor chord, but a B natural in the G7 chord. And the G7 in Jim Johnston's book has a B bass in order to emphasize, hey, we just shifted from a B flat to a B.
Oh.
Right. And then and also that B leads to the C chord. So it's actually a pretty sophisticated chordal accompaniment. All right, let's play Bessie Bell a little more. One more thing I should say about it. This tune reminds me in the B part of Ray's classic polka. Do you remember learning that one from Willie Hunter a few years back, about 3 or 4 years ago? We did Willie Hunter, the Shetland fiddle composer, and he had a polka, Ray's classic. It's a pretty distinctive rising chord line, and this Bessie Bell has something similar in the B part. Okay, and by the way, these guys knew each other.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, Bessie Bell in F. Lemon Reel is by another contemporary composer on accordion, Graham Mitchell. And I got it from accordion player Phil Jones. So lots of accordion favorites here. Bitter lemon is a drink popular in throughout Britain. So again, this one is a little closer to the classic polka model than Jim Johnston's Bessie Bell, in that it's a lot of quarter notes, a lot of long ones, long phrases, and then the moving passages of eighth notes are mostly fill-ins, either repeated pitch or scale. All right, let's give it a try at under tempo. I just think that's a really cheerful tune.
Even though it says bitter.
It does say bitter. It doesn't sound all that bitter to me. Does it sound bitter to you?
No.
Okay. Now let's go to page 24 where we have the Cameron Men's Polka number 2. So I mentioned Adam Rennie at the beginning and how he had his band and he played lots of polkas, he composed polkas, and how he had this lawsuit with John Cameron.
Oh.
So the Cameron band consisted of I mean 3 or 4 players, maybe 5, and several of them were named Cameron.
Yeah.
And they were from Angus, which is the part of Scotland that is, it's north of Edinburgh, just north of Dundee, and it's south of Aberdeen. So it's the east coast of Scotland. As I move north from Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen, it's north of Dundee, just north of Dundee, and a fair amount south of Aberdeen. That's where Angus is. This band was based in Angus. And this polka was taught to the Boston Scottish Fiddle Club by Ali Bain. Ali Bain had a repertoire of the Cameron band polka. So the band was known as the Cameron Men. I guess they didn't have any women in the band. And Cameron people doesn't have quite the same zing to it. But in any case, Ali Bain taught this polka, and it's kind of got some currency on account of Ali playing it. So there's two versions of the first part ending. The simple one versus you can just assort them how you wish.
Oh, okay.
You could do simple first and then the fancier one. Or you could play both the same way, the same every time if you like. All right, let's play Cameron Men's polka number 2. Yes, there is a polka number 1. I didn't choose to present it this time. Cameron Men's polka number 2, and there is a slight problem with the music, but it doesn't affect the notes. There just should be a measure with a pickup note of a rest at the beginning of the tune to even out the count. It doesn't affect how it actually sounds. All right, Smiling Lila is from Canadian musician Don Bartlett. And I've been trying to figure out whether Don plays primarily accordion or concertina. I've heard that he plays both, but I'm not sure about a primary instrument. He may play piano also. But this tune follows that expanded polka format where it takes 16 bars to get a full half of the tune phrased, and it leaves you hanging if you stop at 8. It has a lot of fill-ins, and in this case, one of his favorite ways of doing the fill-in is to have a drone note. So he has... So it's really quarter notes, but with complete fills. So you'll see that used in this tune. Let me play it for you. Smiling Lila. Smiling Lila is his granddaughter. The music that I originally got for this had a picture of the baby. Or toddler, really. But adorable, of course. Let's play it slower so that Elke can learn to play that tune properly. Ready? Here we go. Okay. So it's very playful, this tune. And I should say that Don Bartlett is part of this group of musicians in Ontario that included a huge number of Scottish accordion players who had emigrated to Canada. And you may have heard of some of them because we've featured some of their music before. Bobby Frew, Bobby Brown, and some famous names particularly in dance music. So Scottish dance musicians, accordion bands based around these people who had played in Scotland, then moved over and influenced the music of the region. So Don Bartlett's part of that group. All right, we have one more tune we haven't looked at yet, and this is another fairly recent composition, but it's one of Barbara McOwen's older compositions. So she's a fiddler, of course. We've had lots of tunes that came sourced through Barbara because she's an amazing curator of the Scottish fiddle tradition in North America. And so she composed this in the classic Scottish polka style, but more fiddle friendly. And for the San Francisco branch of Scottish country dancers, which she used to play for when she lived on the West Coast. So. What did I say about being fiddle friendly? Oh, sorry, I didn't have to go that low. Okay, let's give it a go. Yeah, okay, so Barbara got flashy there. Here we go. good thing about polkas to know, which is that the tempo of a polka can be fairly brisk if it's in one of those dance sets where you have to hold the strict tempo. But if you're just doing free form polka dancing, couples dancing, you know, step close, step hop, twirling around with your partner, just, you know, the free form polka. Polkas have a good range from very fast to pretty moderate. So some of these fancy schmancy polkas that are hard to play at speed, they'd make a perfectly good just free form polka. And you don't have to play it quite as lightning fast. So let's just do our ear tunes one more time through. Here we are on page 25, and look, there's polka somebody, but not too hard. And you don't. Miss Campbell, in the key of G. And that is polkas. So you just got 10 new polkas.
Wow.
There are more than 40 polkas in other Fiddle Club books, including a polka in this year's book by John Mason, our November music. So you can look back in previous books and check them out, including some Adam Rennie tunes, some Jim Johnston tunes, or you can just check out other tunes within our books and find more polkas there, and see if some of these polka rules that I talked about apply. There's sort of these two modes, right? They're the ones that are very quarter notey, and then there are ones with lots of fill-ins, and both kinds are quite fun. All right. Thank you. And thanks to anybody who joined us online. I hope you had fun with us. Bye.